Na década de 80, a PWL dominava os charts mundiais e lançou nomes como Bananarama, Rick Ashley, Tonya, e Kylie. Pete Waterman foi um dos criadores da PWL e um dos responsáveis por grandes sucessos no começo da carreira da australiana. O Kylie Brasil se encontrou com Pete em Londres para saber um pouco mais da sua experiência e convivência com Kylie nos anos 80 e 90.
First of all, thank you for having us here.
Pleasure.
It is a pleasure meeting you. My first question is about the first time you met Kylie. Everybody knows the story of Kylie arriving at your office and you writing "I should be so lucky" in 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
If you're not a songwriter, it sounds fantastic, but we were so successful at that time. We learned to, you got a million tunes in your head, and we just learned to write very quickly.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think when Kylie came in, we probably got 6 records in the top 10.
Yeah.
So we were prolific at that point. I think it's like a footballer. When a footballer's on form, he can rule the world. And we were the same as writers. We were in the groove. We were just able to write songs every day. And I Should Be So Lucky was just one of those unusual things where we had no time. So it literally was just come up with a title and start writing.
Yeah.
And what we used to do, we used to put basic tracks down for the singer to sing. So what they sang to was never the record. So quite often an artist would hear the record when it was finished for the first time and couldn't remember even the song that they sung. They go, well, that's not the song I sung. Well, of course it was, but it was just a rhythm track.
Yeah, I see. My next question is, what motivated you to work with Kylie and sign with her for PWL?
What made me? The Australian record company handled our records in Australia, and they'd done a fantastic job for us. We were massive in Australia, so they had this artist called Kylie Minogue, and they asked us would we sign her to the UK, and really we couldn't say no, so we said yes. I mean, it really was, to be honest, that's what it was. Nobody knew who Kylie was. We didn't do any research, but the Australians had done such an amazing job for us in Australia. We felt, honour bound to do it.
I see. I watched a few interviews of you on YouTube. And there's one thing that made me curious. You wrote "I Should Be So Lucky" to record it and show it to Simon Cowell, right?
Yes.
And he turned it down.
Yes.
What was his opinion about Kylie and the song?
Everybody said the same thing. Everybody said that you cannot take a soap opera star or TV star and turn her into a pop star. That was what everybody's opinion was. And I think nobody, in honesty, nobody said anything about the song or the singer. They all said, you can't do this because. And I don't think I'd even thought about that, to be honest. I hadn't thought about whether we could turn a television star into a pop star. I didn't think about that. But I always, I come back to, the point that had it not been for that, we wouldn't have, if they'd have all said yes, I wouldn't have had a record company. I would have been poorer. But the thing that really interests me, and I think it shows how times have moved. At that point, we had 6 records in the top 10, at that time, we had 6 records in the chart, including the #1. This girl was clearly the biggest TV star on British television, by a long way, and yet nobody would touch it. That says to me that the business is a strange business when you can look at, and we were asking for £500, by the way. Well, not 50,000, not 500,000, £500 is what we were looking for, because we wanted to break it as a favour. So when you look at that and you look at an industry who would not look at all the facts and say, well, for 500 quid, we'll take a punt. That says a lot about the industry, more than it does about Kylie. Stock Aitken was another record to me.
In 2002, you were one of the judges of Popstars, the Writers, right? A TV show where girls allowed were discovered. What is the difference between discovering a talent by luck, as happened with Kylie, and discovering with the help of talent shows like social media, YouTube, etc.?
Well, you notice I don't do any of those shows anymore, and there's a reason, because you can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. And the first show we did, which was Pop Idol, the first one, was hugely successful because nobody knew what the format was. Artists didn't cheat. The audience didn't cheat. This was just a show where kids turned up and sang. And we happened to get, in the first series, 3 great singers with 3 huge personalities. So, when you get a British television show, we're only 50 million people, 55 million. And when you suddenly get 20 million people watching a television show, that's like 40% of the nation. You know that you've got people where, you've got them intrigued. And that was because you had 3 kids that really could sing. You had Gareth Gates, who couldn't talk because he had a stammer, but when he sung, he was fantastic. You got Will Young, who got a great voice, but he got this attitude about, him. And you got this other guy, Darius, that had been in the first pop stars, and he'd been a joke. Yeah. So you've got suddenly this guy who come out and could really sing, and suddenly everybody's going, oh my God, this is incredible. Then, of course, what happens is television gets involved, social media gets involved, and you forget that at the end of the day it's about talent.
Yeah.
And you're putting people together you like, and and that's why I don't do the shows anymore. It's still about talent. Yeah. And Kylie, at the end of the day, yes, she was on a pop show, a television show, but she's still around 25 years later. So when we got, the one thing about Kylie was we always knew she could sing. She had a very distinctive voice. She was very musical. And we could make great records. And, kids loved it and kids believed it. And that's, Girls Are Loud, first record was fantastic.
Yeah.
First record.
I'm a big fan of Girls Are Loud.
Yeah, big record. But then at the end of the Girls, I don't believe you can take 5 people who don't know each other and ask them to work together 6 days a week. I don't think you can do that. Particularly 5 girls. I mean, if there's any, limelight going, it's bad enough for 5 boys, but 5 girls fighting for the makeup, my God, that's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's really bad. Going back now to the 80s and 90s, how was the recording process? You didn't have the technology you have now.
No, we didn't.
So
There were no vocal tuners.
Yeah. So how was the whole process of sitting down and recording this?
Well, by 1980, I'd been doing it for 20 years, so it wasn't new to me. But we couldn't. Well, it's ridiculous when you look at what you can do now. I was in the studio yesterday with some musicians, and what they can do now is frightening compared to what we could do. I mean, we couldn't tune vocals. If a single was out of tune, they were out of tune, and there's nothing we could do about it. You had to live with it, or you just had to keep recording it till they got it in tune, or find another singer. It was as simple as that. Now, we were lucky enough that by 1980, the Lynn drum machine was available, and so that was a big help. The Lynn drum machine was a big help. was no quantizing, there was no Pro Tools, there was no auto tunes, but we did have tricks. You know, I mean, we had lots of tricks that you learnt, you know, that we learned. One of the biggest tricks that we did to tune vocals or get vocals working was we vary speed of the tape. So if you listen to the ABBA records, for instance, they're vary speed, which is very clever. So what it does, it tightens when you bring it back to normal speed. If you record something faster and then slow it down, it tightens the vocals up. So if you listen to ABBA, well, can you change, that's multi-tracking. That's speeding the tape up or slowing it down, then bringing it back to the right speed. So we did have tricks.
Yeah.
We did have tricks that we could play, but we couldn't make somebody who couldn't sing. And I don't believe you can do that now either, by the way. So I think that auto-tune is only a gimmick. You know, I remember when people thought that echoes on voices and delays on voices were echoes. You know, we used to fight over a piece of equipment because it gave you something that nobody else had. You'd hear an American record, you'd work out what the effect was and try and buy it. So, you know, everybody's still, at the end of the day, the modern recording process for me is fantastic. Still doesn't take away from a great song, and it still doesn't take away from a good artist. All it does, it makes life in the studio a little less tedious and a lot more exciting. I mean, when in the old days you would take, you know, you'd do a session, and a session was 3 hours, because that's all the union would give you. And you'd record 3 tracks in 3 hours.
Wow.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays it take like days for one song,
Well,
right?
yeah, well, I mean, three tracks in 3 hours is impossible. You know, I mean, we used to, I mean, we were fast. My God, we were fast. We could turn out a track a day, but not 3 in a day. That was impossible. But that's what the union gave to us. So when the electronic instruments came in, they freed us up from that. They allowed us to step back and say, we're not going to do sessions anymore. So we like this song, we'll take as long as we want on this song. You know, for us that was, you know, a day. It freed us, and now of course you can do it on your laptop, which is fantastic. You can sit in bed, watch the television, and make a record at the same time.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If it's a good record, it'll still be a hit.
Yeah.
Because the quality that you can do today is even better. But you still can't act, you know, still a great singer's a great singer. There's no way around it.
In 1994, Kylie decided to change her music style, musically, and also for her image. Was it a Kylie decision? Was an agreement between you two? Or?
No, just Kylie's decision. I mean, Kylie, you know, there was a point when Kylie wanted to move on. And that's like, you know, you live at home till you're about 16, and then your mum says, you know what? Time, Junior, you went out and got a job. Off you go and find yourself out at the same time. Me and your dad want to be on our own now. That's the same with Narcissus.
Happened, right?
Yeah.
This month, you will release her 4 first albums that was recorded by PWL. All fans are extremely happy for this, especially me because PWL is my favorite era of Kylie. Yeah. And we finally have almost remastered version of the albums, right? Why did you decide to release it just now, like years later? What can we expect of these releases?
Well, I think that, you know, some of these albums have not been available for 20 years. And we constantly get, I mean, all the tracks are available, you know, as downloads, but not as we didn't understand. You know, when we made these records, there was no digital sound. There was no downloads. You know, I mean, we were working in a completely different era. So for years and years and years, people have asked us for the original packages again. You know, to put them out. So, and I always did have in my mind the box set at some point. You know, the box set of Kylie, just so that the fans had got, you know, because they'd been married or they'd split up with their husbands or wives, they'd lost their records. This was a chance to put their whole 80s collection back together with some, you know, with some extra trivia and some bits and pieces. But you know, the one thing that, you know, we haven't got we haven't got any unreleased tracks because everything we did with Kylie, we put out. Because we go back to the songwriting, we didn't have time to write songs that we weren't going to record.
Yeah, and the extra songs you put on the singles and stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are mixes that we've not been out before, but not. There are no tracks. There are no stock Aching Waterman tracks of any artist that have never been released.
We know that you and Kylie are still good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, after so many years of friendship, is there any chance to see you and Kylie in another project, working together?
Oh no. I dread the thought of my children, or my children haven't left yet actually, of children coming back home, you know. No, I went to see her the other night. She's got her own thing now. We had 4 great years. You ain't gonna ever beat those 4 years for me. So it's like if I've just scored the goal in the World Cup and won the World Cup, and you know I'm 32 years old, I'll retire at that point. I'm not going to go and play for somebody and try and recreate it. You know, when you're at the top, stay there. Because you spawn memories as well. If I went back, what would I do? Would I do sexy records like she's doing now, or would I do I Should Be So Lucky records that you come back?
Yeah, you're right. How would evaluate the 27 years of Kylie's career? Would you advise her to do something different?
You can't. I think no. There's no point in advising. She does what she does, and she does what she wants, which is important. You know, that's really what the most important thing is. Any artist, I think, has to be comfortable within themselves. And we saw a Monday night. There were 20,000 people there. You know, all going crazy. She's got it right. You know, that's all you can say.
Did you like the show?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, you know, I quite like the way she played her old videos in the background. The ironic thing is she looks exactly the same. I mean, she hasn't aged. It's incredible.
Yeah, she didn't age up.
No, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I was shocked. You know, you see the videos in the back. I haven't seen those videos since the girls played them. You know, then you go, my gosh, she looks exactly the same.
Can you, this is the last question. We always make this question when we're going to interview someone related to Kylie, and we made the same question to her. Can you tell us a fun fact about all your years working with her?
Yeah, fun fact, yeah. I remember we were in Cardiff, I think it was Cardiff, we were in Wales anyway. We were doing a show in Wales, and the one thing about Kylie at that period was, wherever we went, there were millions of kids. And, you know, forget fan hysteria now, it doesn't exist, I promise you. Compared with what Kylie got, none of the new artists get anything like it. We were outside the hotel, and the police were holding, there must have been 4,000 or 5,000 kids trying to get into this hotel. And the police were, you know, we were very worried. And I remember we had a BMW, I remember it, and we physically had to put Kylie, so the kids could see her, on top of the car. So she stood on top of this BMW, right, and she started to dance. And I'm looking at the roof, and the roof is starting to bend. But it was the only way that the kids could, you know, see her. And when she got down, she said, "Oh, I'm really sorry about the roof." I said, "You know what? Don't worry, when I sell this second hand, I'll go, you see them footprints? They're Kylie Minogue's. I'll probably get more for the footprints than I will the car." And I did!
Yeah, that's fun. Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, ciao.
I used to live with 5 Brazilian guys. I know all about Brazilian.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yes,
really? Do you speak any Portuguese?
Que passou? That's all I remember. It was slang. Que passou over there. That's all I remember. It was far too difficult for me to learn at all. We were all waiting.
Do you can say like obrigado?
Obrigado. Yeah, we can all say that.
It's the word that everybody knows.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody knows obrigado. It's even in Japanese, it's nearly the same. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I know something, bodonash. Bodonash. Do you know what that is? Donuts.
oh.
Do you know? No. Oh, that's
Well, that went down well. Anyway, on to the interview. Tony! Tony! Keep your voice down.